These 5 Raleigh road projects are going to change your life. Stay tuned to find out why.
The first one is one of the biggest that's happened in our region in a long time, and that is the southern portion of Interstate 540. So if you're looking at a map, this is the outer circle that is around Raleigh. This has been under construction since 2019.
It's been 84 years.
It's been 84 years.
It is a $2.5 billion project. The first segment was completed last year in 2024, late, I think it was September is when they finally opened. It was like September or November, I can't remember the exact date. The final 10-mile portion, which is gonna be basically from Garner up into Knightdale, is gonna be complete in 2028. So we still got a few years of that, but the construction's already underway. This is gonna be a major, and it really already is, it's a major project for that southern side of Raleigh. The video that we just put out was the new construction video. And if you listen to where the majority of new construction is in Raleigh, it's on the southern side. That's because there's land on the southern side, but it's also in anticipation of the better infrastructure that is on the way with 540.
Yeah, it is exciting to hear that this has an end date because I do feel like it has been a long time coming, obviously. And it'll just be great to get on there. When you are on the parts that are completed, I will say, like, they're never very crowded. So, you know, it's a toll road.
Yeah, it's a toll road. So that
which is unfortunate, but, you know, it is nice because I feel like I don't think I've ever been stuck in traffic on the toll section. And so it'll be nice for people that live down here to get into Raleigh a lot faster and hopefully get into Raleigh without any construction delays.
Yeah, for sure.
Next on the list is on Interstate 40. So obviously it feels like parts of 40 have been under construction since the beginning of Interstate 40. But here in the triangle, we have one section that was recently completed as you are leaving Southeast Raleigh into Clayton. When you're driving through there, now that it's done, and it's big. Like you feel like you're in like a major city, you know? We have a little cat. Anyway, so kitty cat. He has opinions. But in addition to that, if you live in the Durham or Orange County area, you have probably noticed a section of I-40 that has been under construction for quite some time. Hi.
Construction started on this entire project in 2013. There is no end in sight. I mean, legitimately, like if you go to NC DOT's website, it says TBD for completion date. It also says TBD for how much it's going to cost. So both of those are still kind of unknown at the time. But the section that they're currently working on starts in the Hillsborough area as you're heading into Durham. And it's rough. I mean, if you drive that section of 40, it is rough with the construction going on. Obviously, that's going to be better once that opens up. They're going to expand the lanes, which will be great because there's an enormous,
really narrow
there's an enormous amount of traffic that comes from 40 into our region as it's heading like from like the Greensboro area and even further west. And so that's this cat is really loving on us right now. But that is a major project that's going on, and it really is like from the southeast, from the like talking about the southeast side with Clayton, it really transformed the drive into Clayton once that it's complete. I'm sorry, y'all. This cat is needing some attention. But that project's going to transform the Hillsborough into Durham side as well.
For sure, and I am excited for it because I get stuck in that bottleneck often living on that side of town, so that's going to be really nice.
Yeah. The next one is the 440 improvements. If you've ever driven 440 right around like where it exits off to Wade Avenue, it is a pain. It is tough. That has been under construction for years with an estimated completion date of 2025. Every time I drive it, I actually drove it this morning, I don't see 2025, I don't know. I don't see the 2025 happening, but I don't know, road construction, maybe they're gonna pull it off. But that is a $475 million project that's been going on. And the portion of 440 that they are working on, and they're working on some other things as well, but was actually the oldest portion of 440 left, built in the 60s. And it was just a bottleneck. It was creating a bottleneck from, shorting down on the lanes. And so the project is widening that, as well as, doing some other like interchanges and whatnot. But that's gonna be a big deal to that area because 440 And there's a theme here, like we talk about 540, Interstate 40, 440. I mean, those are major systems off of Interstate 40.
Right.
And if you've ever been on 440, it's not a relaxing drive. There's tons of traffic. It's always crowded. And so that needs to be an area that is improved, and that is an area that they're working on.
Yeah, and if you've ever been in that section in Raleigh and you have missed the exit because it tells you to get off at like Blue Ridge Road, but there's like not really a sign anymore or anything, leave it in the comments below so I can feel more validated in my frustration driving through that area.
The next one is Capitol Boulevard. This is probably the one I'm the most excited about, and also probably the one that's going to be the most controversial as far as how are they going to pull it off. So the section of Capitol Boulevard they are interested in doing construction on or improving is basically between Wake Forest and where it intersects with Interstate 540. That section of road is horrible for a lot of reasons. One, there's just a lot of traffic on it. Two, there's a lot of stoplights. And so the goal of this improvement would be to remove the stoplights, essentially turn it into a freeway, on ramps, off ramps, get traffic moving a little more smoothly. The problem is there's not the funds to do it. So this project has ballooned into over $1 billion project, and there's just not the funds to do it. And so the question is, how do you fund it? Do you wait for the funds to come in, or do you speed up the project by a toll road? And that's where the controversy comes in. So Raleigh City Council actually voted to push forward with the project with it being a toll. The issue is they've got to get state approval for that. The state government has to actually approve the toll. Local municipalities can't just create a toll road. That has to come from the state. I don't know if the state's going to do that. Maybe they do. But from like a real estate perspective side, when I think about if you have a toll road going into one town, which would be Wake Forest, how does that hurt home values? How does that affect housing demand? Do people want to live there if they got to drop the toll every day? Like those are serious issues that people have to. I'm glad I'm not the one making the decision. I just get to be the one to talk about the problems with the potential decision. But those are big deals. But at the end of the day, that road has to be improved. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but tolls seem like, in my opinion, I think will hurt real estate values in Wake Forest.
Yeah, and then on the other side of it too, if you do make it more of a freeway with exits, how does it impact the businesses that are currently located on the sides there? Because it becomes, for me personally, I don't want to deal with that to go to the gas station or like a basic store if there's another version of that just a couple miles like down on a normal road. You know, I don't want to have to like exit and do all of that stuff on Capitol Boulevard per se. So it'll be interesting to see how it impacts obviously the current homes like in the Wake Forest area as well as the current businesses that are sitting on Capitol Boulevard.
Yeah, for sure. The first three things we talked about are under construction. Everything's moving on those. This one is one that is really just in the planning phase at this point, trying to figure out how are we going to fund this project in order to push it forward.
Yeah.
Let us know, and by the way, if you live in Wake Forest, let us know in the comments what you think about that from like a toll road perspective, because I think that's a really big deal.
Yeah, it is, and it might be a good thing for you though, because you might be glad to get onto the highway faster than currently, because it's definitely
it probably
kind
depends
of a
on
drive.
where you came from. Like if you come from a place like a Florida or some of the Northeast states where tolling is more of a normal thing, it may not be a big deal. And I may be overstating the impacts of what it would have. I just know our area doesn't have a lot of toll roads. We have the 540 southern portion, but that's really it. So. The next one on the list is Highway 54 in Durham. So the portion of this the portion of this road system will be improving where 54 intersects with 55 and runs all the way to 15501.
In case that's not enough fives for you?
It is a lot of fives. There are a lot of fives. And just to be clear, this one is also very early on in the process. There is I don't think there's any funding yet. There's no start date. There's no completion date. They do have an environmental study scheduled for 2026.
We'll see how that goes. It's just cracking me up.
Yeah, but it is something, it needs to be done. And the reason I say it needs to be done, if you've ever been on Garrett Road in Durham where it intersects with Highway 54,
and 15501.
That is a heck of an intersection right there. It's confusing. Every time I encounter it, I'm like, who designed this? How did this get improved? But that improving of the 54 corridor would be substantial for that side of town in Durham.
Yeah, it would be really nice because when you are driving down 15501, if you do need to go down Garrett Road to get to anything, or if you live in some of the neighborhoods off of Garrett Road, we've helped people buy and doing showings out there, like trying to make a left turn out of there.
But Garrett Road wouldn't be improved. It would be Highway 54.
Well, if it would improve anything to help people on Garrett Road, that would be great.
And it would help people on Garrett Road once they got to 54.
Once they get further down. But maybe they could take like some alternate routes or something, you know? But yes, that area gets really congested and that intersection is really confusing because there's like multiple stoplights leading up to the same intersection.
Right there,
yeah, and then you got Jordan High School there. So it is really confusing. There's a nothing but cakes right there.
There is an
very good.
Cedar, yes. So there's a lot. But anyway, that section of road, Highway 54 connecting 55 to 15501 does need some work. And this project would help with that. Those are the 5 major projects coming to our region, or at least 3 of those are in current progress. The other 2
might eventually
will probably happen at some point. But those are the major ones. Obviously, you know, road construction is one of those things that is kind of touchy-feely, like it's never done quick enough. People are always frustrated with it, you know, but it's stuff that has to take place. Like if our region is growing, we've got to have infrastructure projects to handle the growth that's coming. Maybe they don't happen fast enough, they probably don't, but we at least need to have them thought through and planned. So that's why we wanted to do a video on this. But we're Zach and Cindy Honeycutt, a couple of real estate agents in the area. So if you are looking to buy or sell, we'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. You can find our contact info below, and you can also find us on Instagram.
Yep, we'd love to have you follow along. You can find us at the Honeycutt Realtors or at the RDU Buzz over on Instagram, and we'd love to connect with you there. And it is raining, so we will see you next time.
See you next time.